This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised. Get ready, everybody. We are bringing you back-to-back bangers. Today, our top teams face off with the winners moving straight to the playoffs. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of Masters, coming to you from UOB Live in Bangkok, Thailand. I am your host, Yingsu. On a desk with me today will be Kakuka and Brent. Brent, welcome to the desk.
Yep, it feels nice over here. It's much cooler, I must say. It's much cooler, which luckily, I mean, we've got jackets on as well, even though it's 35 Celsius outside.
What do you mean we?
Wow, I mean, you missed the memo, Kakuka.
It's okay, I will freeze to death.
Please,
it's a denim day.
Please do not, because we have some great games.
Guys, I feel left out. I want to leave already.
You could do that after our bangers, okay?
Okay.
Stay with us until then. But let's talk about what happened yesterday, because the 4 teams, Kakuka, the last 4 as well, what did you make of their performance?
Oh, they were definitely the ones bringing the heat. I mean, so happy to see Vitality facing off against T1. I think that they put up a great fight on the side of T1, but Vitality and Durka was just all over the place. And on this second one with G2, like I had heard and I had watched, but seeing it here in the global stage, especially Leaf and the way that everything was playing, I had heard and I had seen myself, but actually seeing it here actually made me very happy.
I was not expecting G2 to come swinging like this, I think. Because with that match, I mean, I predicted Trace. I think you did as well.
I did, yeah.
Because I was expecting a good performance out of them, and I thought they would match up really well. But G2 look like they're on a different level right now.
You won a believer yesterday? Is that even allowed?
What, in G2?
Yeah.
I'm not American. I just work for the show. I'm not American.
You heard it first. But following yesterday's matches, we had a draw show, of course, to set up our next bit of the Swiss stage. And speaking of it, how's the Swissology doing? Is this
Bro, when we did that segment, I wasn't sentient. Like, I had just landed, I think, 2 AM the night before, and jet lag was kicking in, sleep deprivation was kicking in. I think I tried to make a joke about Safe doing it and something about it being a Swiss bracket, and it registered in my head that Switzerland is not the same as Sweden.
Yes.
Oh,
so that wouldn't actually make sense.
But so you are American.
It was a one-take wonder. We just left it at one. Yeah, so exactly. The geography knowledge is lacking.
Yeah. But what did you make of the draw as well?
I mean, I like it. I would have had liked to maybe see some Vitality versus G2, because I feel like everybody wants to see that clash happening. We cannot leave this tournament without that match happening, please. But I'm happy with this. I also think that G2 is going to be amazing.
I think you will eventually see Vitality G2, the way that things are going right now. There are also some big stakes for today's matches as well. Of course, there will be a spot in the playoffs for grabs, but also championship points. Very, very, very important. And Brent, talk me through, the difference we're seeing here compared to last year.
Yeah, I mean, 1 championship point was the difference between Sentinels qualifying for champs last year and not. And in EMEA, I think there was countless examples where teams literally only made it in through 1 point. So if you make playoffs at this point early, you get 4 days to prep, you get a champs point as well. It can make all the difference in the long run. I know it's hard to think long term as well. Yeah. TikTok's rotted our brains. We've got the attention spans of like 20 seconds these days. But if you can think about a future, it is important, right?
Yeah, I think that if we have the memory exactly of what happened, also it makes me a little bit sad, because I remember regionally, every single time that we sent a team to a global event, we're cheering for them, and I feel like right now the teams at home are not cheering for them. They want them to not make it out of groups, so they do not get those points. Is 1 for just making it to playoffs, but it's 5 if you win the entire event. And as we're looking right now with the 4 seed 1 teams who already won kickoff, they're already amounting out on a lot for the beginning of the year.
Yeah, the C1 teams are having a great time here so far. They might even have a better time if they can make it to the final, because at the conclusion of Masters Bangkok, 1 player will walk away with the MVP award and the coveted bracelet. We've been talking about contenders every single day as the time have gone on, but so let's talk about them again, because the race, I think, is pretty tight right now. Kakuka, who you got your eyes on?
I mean, I think that there's an easy one and an easy bias for Dirk. I think that Leaf was very impressive, but I'm most looking forward towards the other 2 regions. I would love to see Chichu maybe just breaking that ceiling of just being over Kankan and actually have the impact. We saw it when they played, so I'll be down for that. Or maybe Freeman just coming in as a rookie and getting the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, that would be crazy business. I didn't even realize we were handing out bracelets, by the way. So for every single event, I thought that was just a champs thing that we were doing, but no, apparently we're doing it for all of the events events as well outside of it. I mean, this is such a hotly contested event. People say that the first Masters event of the year doesn't really mean that much overall, and I hate that narrative so much because if anything, it means even more just in general. The competition is heightened from the get-go. You have the 8 best teams from every single region instead of 2 teams from every region. And so immediately off the rip, I mean, what are we, like day 3, and we're already getting some of the best teams in the world competing against each other. You don't get that at the other events. It's a bit of a slow burn at the beginning, but you just get non-stop action. So if anything, the competition is heightened. It's just raring from the get-go.
Yeah, and I'm glad you didn't mention Durka, so I get to.
Yeah.
Because all of the events that Durka did end up winning, you know, Lock-in, Tokyo, he was never put up there as the MVP. You had Leo and Alpha ahead of him, but back on Fnatic. But on this Team Vitality roster, I think if they could go all the way, Durka deserves that bracelet. I think he deserves it almost more than anyone else at this point in the after the history he's had.
Many people would think that, especially because of being in Fnatic for so long, having that system also built for him and around him, that maybe he was not going to perform in Vitality, but things are looking so good for them, and he's feeling so comfortable. I love the fact that every single time that we go to his camera, he's been super talkative.
And let's talk about Leaf as well. Give me your pitch, Brent. Go on.
Dude, Leaf has got to be one of the most cerebral players in the game right now in terms of just his intelligence levels and his game sense. Because sometimes it looks like he's playing with wall hacks, low-key. Like, he finds gaps that no one else is doing right now. And not just that, like, his aim as well is on point, like it was the other day. I mean, sometimes it can miss, but he doesn't really need to because the rest of his team will just fill in the gaps in terms of just the aim, and it's not really required for him to have an unreal game. But he's so intelligent with the way that he positions himself. His game sense is off the charts in terms of the timings he takes on a Sentinel role, and he's one of the best in the game to do it right now, currently. If he keeps up this form, G2 have got to be a contender to make it at least to the finals as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that yesterday, especially on that second map, I know that we were seeing those highlights from Lotus, but for me, the Abyss, how impossible it was to deal with him. You could flash him, you can drone him, he would still take the peak, he would still take the fight and come up. So
like, how are you putting up 1 kill per round on a Sentinel role, essentially? Like a lurking Sentinel role. It's absurd from Leaf, but he does it consistently, which makes him like an MVP candidate.
And there's something about a G2 player with the swag. I think they could pull it off, you know, the swagger, the aura, because Kankan was telling us how he's not allowed to wear the bracelets, actually locked away in a safe by his mom. Is now an heirloom. She's saving it for
that is awesome.
I don't think
I actually love that.
Yeah, but I think the G2 players, they would. They'd just be rocking it. They will never let you forget that they've got the MVP. But that brings us to today's MasterCard fan poll. We want to know, who is your front runner in the race for MVP? Is it Durka? Is it Chichu, Freeing, or Leaf? Scan the QR code to cast your vote, and we'll have the results in just a bit. And while you're at it, make sure to use the hashtags VALORANT Masters and VCT so we can feature you on the broadcast as well. There is actually more exciting things going on, not just the MVP, not just race. That's very exciting. We're also going to have a nice little show match. You guys know how that goes. And after the grand finals, we will be unveiling the new agent. Dun, dun, dun. Make sure you guys tune in as well. We've got TenZ heading up Team Internationals, and they will be taking on Team Thailand, captained by Superbus as well. I honestly, I love how TenZ has already made it to another global event after retiring. I'm so for it. I'm so for it.
Oh, but it would be so sad if Sentinels don't make it out of groups and then we only have 10.
It's like, no, I don't know about that.
I think it's more like we'll still have 10.
Okay.
You know, we'll still have 10s no matter what happens. I felt like Sentinels making out of a group is a bit of a hot take. I think that's a big hot take. So let's turn the temperature up and give you guys our hot takes. We've only had 2 days of actions, so I think it's about appropriate for us to overreact a little bit.
I love overreacting.
I'm going to start with my hot take because I don't think it's that hot, but I think you guys might disagree with me. We had all this chat about the MVP bracelet, you know, who's going to win the MVP, who's going to win the tournament. I think Kankan is going to go the back-to-back. I think it's going to go back-to-back, defeat the champs winning curse, come home with another bracelet, so at least he can wear one and save the other one in the safe that his mum can be happy with.
I'll go pretty that's like a middle ground for me. You go mild?
So
I can see it happening.
That's the thing. The reason why I'm going mild is if we would have seen the face and the same EDG that we were seeing in China with the comps that they were playing in, just with the Neon Abuse and what they know they can do in their region, I would have been like, oh, that's a hot take, you know, if they are able to go up against the meta and go up against every single team, I would be, you know, that would be extreme heat. But with them making those changes and actually adapting and looking so good with it, I think that he looks pretty good to get it.
Yeah. I think that there's a decent chance. I mean, I just literally reiterate everything you've just said. He's been on fire, man. He genuinely has not slowed down whatsoever. He's learning new roles as well. He's rarely played the Euro, and he's been pulling that out in competitions. I thought that was going to be one of the biggest drawbacks of EDG into this event. Hasn't been the case as well. So there's options for him. I mean, listen, this guy could go on a run, and their map pool is like just this weird unknown right now. You can't really predict which way it's going to go because they've had that 2 weeks to shore it up.
Oh, I mean, my narrative's dead. He's got less kills per round than Leaf. It's done. It's GG. Move on, move on. Bren, what's your hot take?
I panicked when the producers asked me for my hot take, so I had to come up with this one. It wasn't very good, the initial one, but it might be hotter now. My hot take is that the finals is going to be just a clean sweep 3-0 by G2. Because of G2's win over Trace the other day. And I'm not just saying that because, like, oh my god, they've been summoned on Trace. Because I genuinely think Trace is a very good team, and G2 made them look like schoolboys.
Ooh.
So I think that there's a tier gap right now with G2 and every other team in this event, and I think they might just end up taking it all the way to a trophy.
Oh, I'm not American. I just walk on their broadcast. I'm not biased at all. G2 3-0 final. Extreme heat.
If they make it through the upper, I can see that happening. I'm going to give it pretty spicy because
it's hot.
3-0 finals do not happen that often. Can I just take this away and just say that my hot take was actually very related and very similar to
Really?
No.
I am so surprised that our producers were go for this.
No.
Because actually, my hot take is that G2 is going to do what Sentinels did in the first international that we had, which is not drop a single map in the entire tournament.
Wait,
and
that's
of
like
course,
the exact same.
that would include, yeah, but at least, you know, if they...
Did you forget to tell me you were moving to Americas?
I would never.
What's happened? What's
I would
going
never.
on?
I'd take you with me. What am I going to do without you?
What's going on?
That's mild. That's mild.
I think it's extreme heat because I think EDG will take a map off of them today.
They might. Genuinely, that match is going to be so hard to call.
I'm down. Yeah, I was going for a very spicy one.
I can't. If you had said that about Vitality, maybe I could have, I could have made some because we know we are already pretty biased. So it's all good. It's all good. But let us know your hot take, of course, and what you thought about our hot takes too. But for now, it's time to get into our first matchup: DRX versus Team Vitality, the battle of the #1 seeds. And of course, like we said earlier, the winner will lock themselves into playoffs. But let's talk about DRX, because I know everybody in the Pacific region were very, very excited. Brent, tell me why you were excited about this game.
Initially, I was kind of low on Pacific coming into this event, actually. And I think that they've completely disproved that because they just hit me with a casual reminder that it is an FPS game. And sometimes you get shot and you die. Because I was watching their games and I was like, wow, there's so many elements that are potentially exploitable with the way that they play. But to be honest, the #1 thing that I thought was going to go wrong for them was the rookie players not really turning up and then not really having that firepower. But it was there in spades. I mean, they were hitting and they were coming out with new ideas. Their Lotus comp had Mako acting like a bloody duelist. He was double TPing in to initiate the sites and create space for Hyunmin as well. It was beautiful to watch. This is a DRX team that is unlocked and they're here to try and break that 4th place ceiling.
And it is so important, something that you mentioned, the not being nervous, that comes up with the experience that the other players have, but creating that environment and make it also possible with the changes in the composition with such little time to change things around and have the performance that they had. Not many teams will be able to.
I'm glad you guys mentioned Mako as well because he's standing by right now with Mika Fabs.
Hey guys, you have Mika and Jen here with Mako. Now Mako, yesterday, Safe said during the press conference that he really wanted to play against you, also because you're very, very cute. So how do you feel after hearing that?
일단은 저희를 지목해 주셔서 너무 고맙고 Let's see who's the cute.
Well, he said, thank you guys for wanting to play against us, and let's see who's cute.
We are definitely going to see who's cuter. Good luck, Mako.
They're all cute. Everybody is cute. But what is even more cute, I felt like, is the not cute even. I guess menacing even. Bren has been the rookie duos.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of mentioned it as well, just like talking them up. But I am so damn impressed with these two players. Like Freeing and Hyunmin coming into this roster, there was a hell of a mountain to climb, I think, for DRX to get these guys like situated. And Mako was the one who had to kind of step into the IGL role last year, really get situated like that, and as one of the sole veterans. But this is a team that's come together now at this event, and they're playing them in, they're playing new comps as well. They're really, I think, defining and almost like caught up into the meta in terms of the amount of Euro that they're playing, a bit of double duelist occasionally, but they're mixing it up as well. They look strong, they look on point, and the fact that the rookies are performing is such a huge boon for them, I think, moving forwards into the event.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into the tournament, having this performance, Human, as we're saying, playing Euro 2 times, and also the first time that he was ever doing it. Him feeling comfortable, everybody else around him free, and all the reps that he has on Tejo. So many things that you can learn about such young players.
Well, let's get Freehan's thoughts about his own debut in this Omen player moment.
안녕하세요. DRX 스프링 노하준이라고 합니다. 일단 정말 뭐 팬도 많고 교정도 세고 정말 강한 팀이라는 걸 이겨서 너무 일단 기분이 좋습니다. 일단 로터스라는 맵에서 초반에는 조금 뭔가 총이 안 맞나? 라는 생각을 했었는데 그 후부 그냥 그 생각을 지워버리고 다시 리마인드 하면서 하니까 되게 저한테 좋은 영향이 돼가지고 좀 좋은 결과를 가졌던 것 같습니다. 일단은 로터스 C가 이제 들어오는 상황이었는데 이거 저희 팀이 이제 현민이랑 풀백 선수가 이제 C를 막고 있었는데 한 명씩 죽어가는 거 보고 이거 바로 채워서 막아야겠다라고 하면서 채우고 잡다 보니까 하다 보니까 뭔가 에이스 돼가지고 나이스 이랬던 것 같습니다. 일단은 날아갈 것 같은 기분이고 뭐 한편으로는 뭐 제가 요즘 폼이 좋아서 그런지 이 정도 뭐 할만하다라고 생각했던 것 같습니다.
Get in there on the opposite side. What just happened?
일단은 의미는 그냥 저희 DRX라는 팀이 진짜 정말 강한 팀이다라고 생각밖에 안 드는 것 같아요. 일단 현민이랑 자전이 영혼의 듀오라고 현민이가 못하면 제가 하고 제가 못하면 현민이가 해주고 이런 식으로 되게 믿음이 되게 서로 가 있는 상태고 만약에 100% 상태면은 누가 와도 그러니까 누가랑 붙든 제일 잘하지 않을까라는 생각이 듭니다. 근데 저는 항상 자신 있는 것 같습니다. 오늘 경기력도 좀 좋은 편이었지만 다음 경기에서도 더 좋은 경기력 나올 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
We love a humble king. We love a humble king. But this is the thing, though, for DRX coming into this. You mentioned this, Kakuga, when they were playing, the way that they managed to actually catch up to the Yoru meta, to try and do it. What did you think about their changes?
I mean, I like them. I think they're ambitious, right? Coming into a tournament with such little time and performance changes in maps that, were a difficulty, or there were already somewhere that you had a very nice idea, but just moving into just fully the Tejo and the Yoru, also combined with the Breach. Those 3+ devices are the main characters of this event for sure.
They absolutely are. I think it's just added that little bit of extra spice, I think, onto already existing maps, because their Lotus was kind of middling. I think they were struggling a little bit in kickoff. They were having very close games, like versus T1, for example, in the finals, but the little tweaks that they've been making are kind of meta-proofing them, I think, for the future tournament.
I think it's also very important because it screws completely the preparation that the other team has on you. So all that small tape that you have from kickoff, from the teams that have made it through the upper bracket that have only have like 4 matches, all goes out of the window, and you can have to just rely on what you have in your hands and your mid-rounder, your IGL, and the solving the things on the go.
It's a very different beast, though, when you have to play against this team of Team Vitality, and the team that, I know they don't want to be called a super team, but Kakuka, they are a super team.
We don't care.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't care how many times Safe is going to say we're not a super team because blah, blah, blah. Like, here's blah, 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 blah. I don't hear exactly what he's saying. I do not pay attention, because if you're not a super team, just lose. Honestly, lose and get out, because what you are showing on the stage, it's to me very, very impressive. And as we're seeing right here, in those parts of the maps, in the second halves, they're performing so well, which means that the more they're in these situations where actually they have to adapt, they have to overcome and read their opponent, they're doing even better.
Yeah, they are. And I mean, they have these slow starts, like you're saying, but I think once they really get going into the maps, get into the second half, the kind of map pull differential started to really showcase in that T1 game, and it just started to take off ahead of them. I mean, winning the pistol and then just snowballing it further, especially Durka, this guy as well. When he gets on the defense side, if they manage to put the op into his hands, he's a beast. I mean, the T1 was struggling so hard with that aspect of the game, and I think Vitality have got so much danger in this tournament. The only danger, I think, is I don't really know. I mean, they should be a super team and they should have very high expectations, but the slow beginning worries me a tad. And I'm not just saying that because it's like, oh, a little bit of EMEA anti-bias or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see with this tournament, but they might end up shoring up their form, I suppose, like as we get deeper.
Yeah, I mean, they will manage to get a lot of reps, especially if they win today. Now, Kukuko, I need you to pay special attention because you just said you don't know what Safe is saying. He is right now standing by with Mika, so we'll check in with you after this.
I'm here right now with Vitality IGL and expert Swissologist, Safeologist, what's the proper term?
Safeologist.
Safeologist, expert Safeologist, none other than Safe. Now, Super Team, I can feel the internal cringe already. I know you don't like the word and you say that it has to be earned, but I'm wondering at what point will you not shy away from the term? Like at what point do you feel like the team would have earned the right to be called that in your eyes?
When we become super friends.
When you become super friends. And Mako says that he can't wait to play against you because, you know, he's going to see who's cuter between the two of you.
I'll show him who's cute.
I love it. Good luck to you guys.
Don't be saying that you're not super friends.
Blah, blah, blah,
I can
blah.
already see the Reddit threads. The Reddit threads are starting.
He's always taking the piss. Like, like we know every single time that we do an interview or we say, he just says whatever comes into his mind, so we never get the truth.
Wait, you
out
understood
of
that? It wasn't just blah, blah, blah. Oh, did you understand that, Brent?
I understood it,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I've worked with him, though, as a director. You know, he's been looking over me and Josh for a while, so we've got the chemistry now.
He pays your salary.
We might not be super friends, but we've got the chemistry. Yeah, we've got the chemistry.
You're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's take a look at some of their gameplay. Hopefully this is showing that they are indeed super friends.
This I could actually understand, right? But we were speaking about the fracture, and I wanted to take a look at one of the rounds because it is so important to understand the meta, and also ties in very well to what we were saying about those second halves. A little bit of context here. This is round 22 between Vitality and T1 here on Fracture, and as you can see, Vitality is already performing that comeback. At some point, the score goes to 9-6, and they have already had 4 round wins in a row. But this round is extremely important for them because they identified that the Steel Guardian and the Armageddon, 2 very good ultimates to perform the executes, are available for T1. And I wanted to show this play because of how they treat this situation on the... Oh, sorry. How they treat this situation, if I can. 1 second, sorry. How they treat the situation, knowing and having the information that they have. So the first thing that we're going to see is that they're going to not play on the sides, okay? Yes, we do see Trex just playing onto tower. He has a little bit of support from the Vice, but, you know, the sides are going to be clear. You do not want them flooding onto you, but what is more important is that they're going to send 3 players on the hunt for Vice. Meteor had been playing on that part of the map already, and they identified that that could be a weakness or that could be exploited. Dirk is with the operator. They send 3 players because, of course, they can always be more. Not only that, we see that when they start walking, they identify that the shear, that the wall is already put there. And now there's the moment to make a decision, right? Do we go together? Do we just send Dirke? And Dirke just comes in with the right call. I go by myself because I have something that you do not have. The satchels, you know, I can get out of here pretty free. Very important also to see that Trex is just, Les is peeking as well to guarantee that, you know, when he triggers that wall, there's going to be a reaction. Either it's going to be get the kill or just flood onto the side. Kill goes there and they go back onto the side. It's very important also as well that they left a player controlling that there was no sound made on A, and they put also a wall so they could go back onto the side and have the time to flood and prevent the plant from even happening. Not only that, also they had the wall from Vice just in case they wanted to have some more support. So now that the Vice from the enemy team is out, you can play within the side. But they decide to play separately, one, because Safe is going to be gathering that information towards A, and Dirk can just make sure that they didn't lose the timing, and if Safe creates a reaction onto T1, they're also going to have room to do it. And just very quickly, going to show, getting all the information, they get swamped with utility, and even though the Armageddon gets used onto the side, with the positioning that Dirke has, not only he is free to take the duel, he can get out with the other satchel that he still has. There is a gap on the floor. Let me see if I can get it actually. You see, right in that pixel, you can see that there is a gap in the ultimate, so he can stand in that position freely and have an easy kill. With this is already a 3v5 situation with 2 players down, and the rest of the utility used from safe to prevent the push coming in from Sand is just beautiful to see. This kind of adaptation onto the Vice, onto the Tejo, is what is going to take them further into the competition.
Yeah, and when you're 11-10 up as well to do that, they just play with so much confidence. And I'm glad that you showed a Durka round, because let's be honest, every round at this point is a Durka round. Because Brent, we have to have a conversation about whether if he is or can become the GOAT of Valorant.
That's what I mean. This event is really his time to shine as that GOAT status and cement it, because there's a lot of names that come to mind when you think of just the GOATs in Valorant in terms of just titles earned. But Dirk will be getting up there. I mean, he's been playing the game since the absolute impetus of it, and he is so close as well to reaching a global kill record in 2000. And the level of performance that he consistently puts up is just above and beyond a lot of other players into the scene. And I think if he wins this title here at Bangkok, it's a while off yet, don't get me wrong, but if he keeps performing the way he is, he has to be in contention, I think, for that status, if you're thinking about it, because he's already the one of the holders of a back-to-back trophy, right? So he's already got 2 of them. If he gets the 3rd as well, he'll be joining, what, Chronicle, I think is the only other player. And that's an elite list of players that is currently going to be grouped up, and Durka is very, very close to it.
Yeah, and I have to mention there, he will be the first player to reach 2,000 kill globally. Nobody else has done it. Not Aspas, not Ye, none of the Optic guys that were here over and over and over again. And he'll be doing it this time around, Kakuka, with a different team.
Yeah, and I think that he will get it for sure. Like 49 kills for Dirk is like 1 or 2 days in the office max. But the value that he gets from this operator on the defense, he's so versatile with it. And all the plans, the movement that he has with it, just seeing the replay with the satchels, how he denies every single one of those trays. He's so smart to go with it. But even when he goes into a more aggressive situation, you see the rest of Vitality just going on with him and making sure that he will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be one of the most consistent uppers that we've seen. I mean, you look at his aim, he's just cool, calm, and collected, but it comes from just a level of game sense that he has, where he just knows the kind of expected value when people should be swinging into him as well. But he's an absolute complete package in terms of his rifling, his game sense, and his op gameplay as well. So with Durka, you get it all, and Team Vitality, it's part of the reason why I think you should be considering them a super team, even if they don't consider themselves a super team in the first place. Because, dude, I was so upset that Fnatic, like, I don't know if they fumbled Durka or what, but it was just, when they didn't sign Durka again, I couldn't believe my eyes. And so it's nice to see him thriving here and now, and I think that it really does just highlight just how important he is as a player for any team that he's a part of.
I mean, the op stat as well, the fact that he pulled the op 9 times and gets 8 kills, they call it a day. He's just won the game. He's won the series for them off the back of that. But it's time for the results of our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you who your front runners in the race for MVP is, and you guys voted for dun 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 Dirk.
Yeah, makes sense.
They were watching.
But
they
the thing
were
is,
watching.
Freeing coming second in that poll.
I kind of respect that as well, though, because he has been monstrous on the Tejo. It's a role where, I mean, you kind of get empowered these days, I think, as well. If your Yoru sends it in, you're going to be like 2nd, 3rd in. And so, but Freeing is the one who's like collecting all these kills. Players try and trade that guy out. He's getting 2 somehow in most spots as a rookie player on the stage. It's unheard of. So I can understand it, you know, closely behind.
Both stories are very good, right? Like you have a Dirk coming in with a different roster but still performing like this, or someone that is a rookie coming in and playing for the first time in a global stage at this level, getting the MVP. I would absolutely love it.
I mean, we heard it from Human as well. The Yoru players he watches are Durka and Jaw, so it's going to be interesting to see. He's picked up something from them. Durka was tweeting that he's going to bring back the Yoru clone. He's going to do it again. Isaac Wise, do you think, is there ever a situation you're not shooting the clone?
I think that we should do a highlight just to DRX players looking at the clone
And
being like, okay,
it.
we all look at it.
Yeah.
We all look at, we should...
I would
You
love
have to
Durka.
shoot it, right?
I would love Durka to run a fake clone play. But, I mean, there's scenarios where, against Vice, you run the clone in to try and trigger the wall, which is kind of what they were doing in that one instance where he pulled off the fake clone play, right? It was a bonus round against...
Yeah.
What was it?
It was the game that qualified them.
Yeah, the game that qualified them.
He's like,
I
oh,
mean,
this, you know, it's the kind of game where you just have to do the
It was
funny
foot.
thing.
It was
Against
foot.
dude,
It was
yeah,
foot.
it was the right time for it as well, and the fact that he pulled it off, I mean, just balls of steel, man. Honestly, just balls of steel.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to shoot the clone now. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter what situation. Just shoot it. Just shoot it. But let's take a look at the predictions from the Talon team, of course, as well. And it looks like Mika and I are the only EDG believers. What happened, Bren? You went Trace yesterday.
Yeah, honestly, that game is also really hard to call as well because I think EDG's map pool is all over the place. It could be incredibly good in terms of the 2 weeks prep that they've had, but I've just been...
And the new comps, come on.
Yeah, the new comps as well. I thought my Preds were doing worse than this, I'm not going to lie. Am I actually 2-2 or is that a mistake? I thought I was worse.
Oh,
I thought I was like 1-3.
I didn't even see the stat. Are you leading?
No, I'm like 2-2. I'm like even, but I was
okay.
expecting to be worse in the coin flip.
I'm like 3-1 because I believed in Liquid.
Wait, hold on. You can still believe in Liquid. They'll play tomorrow.
I still believe in them.
They will play tomorrow. Let us know your predictions at home as well. But today is all about the battle of the #1 seed, a spot at playoffs, the all-important championship points as well. Get ready for DRX versus Team Vitality, followed by EDG versus G2. Day 3 of Masters Bangkok starts right here, right now.
In this new team, I get to play the style I actually like. I give some reads to the team and just try to play like myself.
Let me answer it. They're not clearing him! They're not clearing him! Dog, bro!
DRX라는 팀이 정말 강한 팀이다라고 생각밖에 안 드는 것 같아요.
What just happened?
I think in this team, we just try to enable all the players. That means you need to trust your teammates.
현민이랑 영혼의 듀오라고 현민이가 못하면 제가 하고 제가 못하면 현민이가 해주고 만약에 100% 상태면은 누가 와도 제일 잘하지 않을까라는 생각이 듭니다.
I think it's important to be humble outside of the game. But on stage, you show no mercy.
Last year on EG, we didn't make any events. But I did go to Champs last year, and I was a spectator, watching all these guys play on the stage. EDG winning live. So it kind of brought back my motivation. Saying, I was here at one point. Why am I not here now?
我认为这不仅仅是粉丝们对我的一种认可，但是在我身上可能也是一种包袱。但是当我站在舞台上开始比赛的时候，我认为我的包袱一切都没有。因为我觉得应该是去弥补掉了很多自己的缺点，去更融合团体。
EG, we're here to play too, so get ready.
如果有一个人能赢下全胜状态的 EDG 的话，我认为那个人还没有出生。
Team Vitality, Hopka, DRX.
It's time for the best of EMEA to take on the best of Pacific. The super team facing some of the best rookies we have ever seen in the game, or for a spot at playoffs, and one step closer to the first global trophy of the year.
And for any of these teams, it would be their first trophy, and this is their chance to secure those playoffs. Let's see, you know, what the form that we're going to see. Are we expecting also another 2-0? I think that today we're in for a very, very long day.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. You've got the best teams competing against each other as well. That's one of the beauties of having this Swiss system in play early on for a tournament where you really do have the best of the best. It's an 18 tournament, 2 of the best teams from every single region. You just get bangers from the rip, and you're starting off here. I mean, it's day 3 and we're getting this already.
We are indeed, and the map is just going to be very interesting because as you guys remember, in the draw show, DRX were drawn as the first seed, which means they will get to pick the first ban as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they get to choose whether they're team A or B, and probably they decided to go for the B because both of these teams perma-banned the Pearl. So they kind of forced Vitality to ban the Pearl, and now they can ban the Haven, which brings them into a very, very good light. But I'm surprised that they go for the Abyss on the Airbrand.
Yeah, I mean, well, Abyss is one of the best maps for DRX, but what I'm really shocked at is that they banned Lotus to go to Split.
Yes.
That, for me, is the decider, because Lotus is another map which they've looked really good at. I mean, we were talking about how they changed their compositions on that map specifically, and they were looking really improved. And I think if they're going off of Split being a bad map for Vitality because of the EMEA finals, they're going to be mistaken pretty heavily, because that was a Nats masterclass in terms of the calling. That was what made Vitality look silly. You're not going to catch them every single day looking like that.
Yeah, and in many regions that was the case, right? The final felt a little bit, you know, like it wasn't really a representation of how the feeling was and how the rest of the year had been. But I'm interested to see. I think that the decision comes from, we already played it in this tournament. This is a very important match. This secures our playoffs. If we have prepared something else that they have not seen yet, that they cannot prep for, it has to be the Split.
Yeah, and it's very interesting for Vitality to pick Bind. Usually when they play Bind, it's the other team that pick it into them. They prefer the Haven, they prefer the Split here, but obviously the Haven's not going to be a choice, so I want to see how DRX can handle this, given we saw the Bind very, very recently from them.
And yeah, for DRX, it's kind of this middle ground map for them, so I have a lot of respect, I think, for Vitality picking this, because I think they've seen it as a weak spot for DRX. They like to float it as well, and they've changed up their stuff again, running this Yoru gameplay. I mean, Yoru's very good for a lot of the kind of conditioning. I think heading into Biden themselves as well with Safe's style of calling, one of the things that DRX need to watch out for is that Safe will use the drone solo a lot to condition, like there's a heavy placement of players on their attack side. He loves to condition with his drone alone a lot. If DRX have been watching the VODs, they might be able to cook up something around that and try and, I mean, jump on them as well if the opportunity arises.
I want to see how Vitality does without the preparation, right? Because DRX used to run this map with the KO, right? And I think that makes a huge difference into how to spot, how to react to it, and it defined their playstyle a lot. So really looking forward to this matchup.
I'm also very much looking forward to bringing you guys an amazing caster duo. Show some love for Ender and Mimi.
Thanks very much, Jinsu. We have a good one on our hands. A chance for the first team here at Masters Bangkok to make it to the playoffs. And it's two squads, Christy, that thus far this year have not dropped a series.
Yeah, both of them looking incredibly hot regionally. And both of them came in, won their first series very convincing fashion. DRX absolutely pounded Sentinels. And Team Vitality, some slow starts to their early maps, but always showed up in a big way in the second half, especially Durka. Once he gets an op in his hands, man's on fire.
And it's the third time DRX have brought out a new composition thus far this tournament. They start things off on the attack side.
Yeah, DRX just putting that camera over in showers, gets cleared away by less on the other side. Vitality know that DRX are pretty heavy over on this side of the map, and Safe has to get out of there. Bro just barely dodges the damage.
And in with the TP, Hyunmin will take control. A reframe from Vitality, but Hyunmin, oh my, he's got the flash in hand. Still goes 1 for 1, and Vitality pull back.
Les somehow being alive, though, in a really uncomfortable spot, because DRX could look to fight into backside. That drone's going to ping him out, so he jumps back into the smoke as reinforcements arrive for Vitality.
No plant attempted just yet, but already some damage, and that's a TP hit. No one here to receive for Vitality. But the nade gets a kill onto Mako.
That's crazy. A little bit of an overcommit on the rotate, but Kix is already here. 2 players stuck up in heaven. The good news is that Cage has dropped down, allows them to get out, but Kix already on a warpath here. Finds his first and still pressing forward. DRX have spread apart over into elbow. Up in hook and freeing. He's able to find that first one.
It's all down to flashback. The 1v3. It's an isolated duel here, but Vitality, they play this very patient. Wait for the smoke to fade and now spot out his position. Triple swing sure to come as Flashback tries to isolate a duel, and Vitality won't give it to him.
Excellent work from Kix in that round. First one to rotate back over to the B site, first one to find the opener. Just kind of entered for himself. This is a really unfortunate situation because you never expect that Viper to be hiding right in the corner. But all things considered, with this retake and sort of playing around those smokes very nicely from Kix, Vitality start themselves off strong.
That to me seems like such a classic Vitality round of what they've been good at. Slowing the rounds down, swinging together in the team fighting, I think is where this team really thrives. Obviously, incredible individual skill on each of the players on this roster. That's why people are calling them a super team.
Now stepping up here, Outlaw in the hands of Durka, but already is pinged out. He is in a lot of trouble. The teleport in, Hyunmin finds the kill. And if they can recover that Outlaw, that could be huge.
Now DRX has stolen it back from them. Dips away, and DRX will make things out here. Safe, little whiffy, but he finds his mark at the end. Mako should be able to get the plant down uncontested. Now where's the fight from DRX?
They've got a take here into Lamps. Flash dodged out from Safe, and Trex gonna make quick work of that. Switches over to the Ghost, as a matter of fact, bringing in reinforcements. And even though it was that opener that went down onto Durka, Vitality have stabilized.
Flashback. Not a great chance of winning this round now. Any more damage would be great.
1v3s, right?
Yeah, bit more difficult this time. He does have trips down on the site, but not the best plant for him. With his position revealed already, should be an easy cleanup for Vitality.
You say easy, but down to 20 HP, 733. That could have been pretty dire. Vitality bought 4 rifles going into that round, so only end up losing the one because those players survive. Still, it's nice to see Hyunmin finding the opener, right? DRX made a big comp swap coming into this match, the highlight being that Yoru, I think. It's no longer the Rays they're playing. DRX's coach, Termi, was very vocal about saying that after watching EMEA and Americas play specifically, that they wanted to start picking up that Yoru. And already Hyunmin finding that opener.
The 2 rookies for DRX freeing, and Hyunmin have just been incredible in their first match already here at Masters Bangkok.
Vitality have bought a little bit here. Extra Phantom, a Stinger in too, as Hyunmin fires forward.
Great flash on the kicks. Yeah, no chance, and damage through the smoke as well. Hyunmin slows down for a moment, and the salvos keep him at bay, but DRX happy to just be a man up in this position.
Yeah, I mean, just look at all the utility they ate up.
Here's
all of the stall.
Durka spots him out in the corner, but can't really commit to the fight. DRX keep Hyunmin alive, and he'll TP out as well.
Yeah, Vitality haven't overcommitted the rotates. They've still got 2 players over towards A. Safe realizes that's just a clone, but he's in a great spot to punish if DRX decide to jump in the teleport.
Durka alone on the site. Vitality put him in these positions yesterday. Think of his ace on Fracture.
He knows he's there.
First base is good for Durka. He'll duck away, and Trex has come in for a kill as well. Flashback, not even into Hookah, but that's a very big kill for DRX. Now, options opened up, but Durka shuts them down again. And now it's an attack from one front for DRX.
And there's just no time. 20 seconds left. Player still on site, up in Hookah. Trex is just anchoring like a beast right here. But now with the spike going down, Durka's gone all the way around the world into long. There's no chance really for Hyunmin to get this spike down with Durka coming in on the flank. He was just dancing around them.
The pathing was incredible from Durka that round. Gets the kill towards long, helps his teammate with a double swing in Hookah, and then is going for that late reflank as well. Truly incredible in those positions.
But it's just back-to-back rounds now where Hyunmin's found that first kill, got an even extra bit of chip damage onto Les. But this time it's Durka with that reposition up into Hookah, helping his teammate out there, going for that rewrap that ends up converting that round for Vitality. And like I was saying before the round, like they decided to purchase up a little bit into that too.
Vitality had some slow starts yesterday in both of their maps against T1. Required some big second half rallies to end up winning. It's good for them to get a bit of a stronger start today.
I already seen them lock in a bit. DRX now, I mean, we'll see if Hyunmin can find anything. This time it's a Stinger, so maybe a little bit less likely. Flashback's gonna take his chance.
Kicks out of the smoke, he gets absolutely nothing. Trex isolated as well, DRX. They've just ran him down on this eco round, and suddenly it's only 2 left alive for Vitality.
Yeah, I think we've done the thing where we praised Vitality for having a clean opener, and all of a sudden DRX had just killed them. Flashback getting 3 kills there is just ridiculous. The Sheriff start at the beginning, and then upgrading into the rifle. A flawless round for DRX is crazy on the eco.
Yeah, ridiculous. But a very nice round constructed off of that Yoru ult. thus far we've seen them go for these early takes and then wait normally that 40 seconds for the breach tail util to come back online. This time they just slam it in off the Yoru ult, catch the Anchors of Vitality out on their own.
Yeah, it felt like when they paused in the past, like you think round 3 when they were just waiting in long, it didn't really fool Vitality. Vitality had space outside showers. Even Durka had the angle where we saw, players' shoulders into long. So I like DRX changing that one up here, especially on the light buy.
MasterCard thrifty for DRX to get them on the board.
If you compromise your position, you hand them a free
Vitality will be able to get a buy back out though, and they're close to some key ults here.
Let's see this shot one more time. Oh, he just goes for the double jump up. That's why Les wasn't ready for it. Feels a little bit bad, but Vitality shouldn't be scattered in a position like that.
Flashback not one of the rookies on this team.
Let's try to do some damage.
There for their 2024 run where they only made one global event, but it's definitely come into its own right this year.
Now if those first 4 rounds were, a bit lighter from DRX, hold on, safe, spotted out by Flashback. DRX are about to be in a great position the next few rounds. They've got Flashback's ult right now, but all of those heavy hitters, they've got 4 monster ults that are going to be coming up very soon.
Vitality have not been able to stop DRX from taking long every round, and it puts them in a great position to send the exec. Here comes a pinch of a TP. Safe finds his kill, and there's even more util to help Durka out, so DRX need to expedite onto this site. They've done that, but Bane is just having to swat them away and wasn't ready for Durka to swing in. A plant. Now, which direction did DRX choose to fight?
DRX are all just sort of dividing up and taking their ones right now. Finally, Hyunmin's going to regroup over into long. This is the fight that'll mean everything.
It's all up to freeing. Durka a little ahead of Les, but the shot's not good enough for 2. Les instead controls that space. And the IGL for DRX has an impossible task. A good start though, but a pinch from Spawn, and that puts a bow on it for Vitality.
So the only round DRX have won over on this B site was when they dominated Hookah, right? That lurk from Flashback. He's found kills there a couple of times, but these other rounds, Vitality have been jumping up into that space, fighting very aggressively. And with DRX only sending 1 player in there, I think if they want to keep going B, they need to put up a little bit more fight there, or risk never really being able to get out into the site itself.
Almost every round, Vitality has been able to dominate space in Showers control uncontested, which means they're never feeling threatened by TP plays coming back towards A from B late rounds, meaning that they get to have pretty heavy stacks on that B site towards the end of these rounds when DRX is actually going for their exec.
Yeah, because we saw in round 1 and 2 DRX were playing over towards the A side, but every round it's been 5 players going to 1 site from DRX. There's not really the threat of late lurks coming in, and truthfully, part of this is going to be the comp swap for DRX, right? Flashback had been playing Viper previously. That wall obviously opens up so many opportunities to find your little timings over towards the A side of the map. On this Cypher, it's a little bit less possible to find the lurk because you've got to walk out into these big open spaces.
So the first chance for Termi, DRX's veteran coach, to get a word with the players. It's his 10th global event he's been a part of, and he has a tendency to always make it out of groups with this DRX team.
Yeah, it's been a long time. DRX never actually fallen out in the group stage.
Last time, 2021.
Yeah, and they weren't called DRX back then, were they?
No, Vision Strikers, but they did lose to Durka in that tournament back when he was on Fnatic to go out. I don't want to make a habit of it here.
Yeah, it is a little funny seeing, so many new teams, I think, on the international stage are not seeing the classics, all right? You don't have Loud, you don't have maybe a Fnatic, but you still got Durka and Les. They're still always showing up to the big stage.
And you don't have that same DRX, but with some new rookie players, you keep the IGL Mako in the mix as out of the timeout, DRX turn their attention towards A and take control in Showers.
Yeah, so there you go, exactly. Shutting down that Showers look. This time Vitality's playing a much stronger open on the B side.
They're just sending it on A, it looks like here. In goes the Annihilation, a Brim ult as well, but Vitality have a smoke to get out front sight, and that's huge for Trex. He'll dip back, but has to dance around, then he's unable to avoid the bullets. Another player just flooding, and that's psychotic from Les. He wanted to take his risk, but it doesn't pay off.
Now it's just Kicks and Durka. Yao, you've got a showstopper in hand. They're Seekers too, but these two players are gonna have to find some kind of an opening pick before they can commit those big abilities. That stun refresh is just brutal.
Still a rocket for Durka.
Satchel out.
Satchel punch sight, it's perfect onto Hyunmin, but the trade is there from Flashback. And Durka Just doesn't have much time to work with here. He's getting wrapped from behind. Still Yuto working against him, and he just wants to keep his gun.
Get out of there, man. No chance in a round like that. And looking at the money, it's all right for Vitality right now, but Safe and Durka had both bought down, so very important they can hold on to that rifle and have at least 4. You could even have Durka not take the rifle this round and commit the showstopper. Both rounds DRX have won, and I think we've seen them take advantage of what has been so strong about these compositions they've been playing. Switching into the Breach, Taeho, Yoru on every single map they've played thus far means you have 3 of the best power ults in the game to build rounds off of. And you know, it's not easy to hit the A site with a solo Yoru, right? When you're not playing the Raze, it's very hard to threaten those fights into backside because you don't have the double satchel over truck or something like that. So the fact Hyunmin was taking those fights into backside anyways and finding his mark, good sign for DRX early on.
Staying stun over towards Showers.
Yeah, that's going to be DRX's typical default now over towards the A side of the map. But this round, Hyunmin and Freeing are testing that space over towards B. It seems like the timeout was to sort of structure these early rounds to show a lot of presence into A, but open up maybe some lurk opportunities.
Well, you rarely see players take advantage of that. The silent drone walks his way out, spots 2 players.
It can be nice though, because if you don't hear that drone, you don't necessarily know that the reclear came in, unless you've got players there to get pinged on out by it.
Less being more proactive in holding long this time.
Look at that utility, it's just endless.
But it's expired now. DRX.
See, it's just so hard to lurk into A short on the Cypher. Viper maybe have a chance, but it's really just to buy some pressure here while they fight over into the B side of the map.
There's a pit on the B side. Do they want to finish here? They still had some pressure
they want
towards
to TP
Showers.
into
I think
A.
it's a TP.
They surely want to move over towards A, and a couple players have rotated for Vitality. The timing is good now for DRX to send it.
Kix was hesitant. So it all comes down to Durka. Still has that showstopper. Ready to go top drop. Only 20 seconds. DRX need to get this plant down quick. But the ult goes wide. Still 15 seconds. DRX, where is that plant? It's yet to even be attempted. Fight forward from Durka. This man's doing it all. 2 kills picked up. The plant is stopped. And the next player ready to swing through. No! The spike makes it down, but it was never enough.
What a chaotic round. That was absolute mayhem. Durka getting the 2 kills over into Lamps opened up everything for Vitality, though. And with so little time on the clock, it's like DRX, even if they have 5 players alive, it's a 4v5, because one guy's got to be trying everything to get that spike down on the ground. I think the important play here, actually coming in before the retake, is the fact that Kix had sort of half-rotated over to the B site, sent up a big Skybird over that Viper's pit that didn't ping anyone, so he was quickly moving back towards the A site. Vitality hadn't overcommitted even with so little time, so they were ready to get that fight. They didn't actually lose full control of site, and it gave that opening opportunity for Durka to control the site.
DRX go back to the well of B. Good stun, catches on to Kix. Young's past it. Here's the refight from Vitality. It's excellent. The decay catches 2, and Vitality cuts them all down. Flashback has found the time to walk out, but the smoke from his teammate, Les, a bit of safety to isolate these duels. And in a one-on-one, you know Les is just going to pick them apart.
Not letting Nico come through this time around, no sir. Just a complete lockdown. Honestly, I've really liked how Kix has been playing on this map. This time it's that fight supporting Les very nicely into long. But really my eyes go towards this 9th round. DRX need to salvage something towards the back end of this half. They've got the ultimate on Hyunmin to work with. Looks like they're gearing up for an A hit. They had the 1 slow round, but since then it's just been go, go, go.
Showers fight this round for Vitality. But there's the ult. Already teleporting in. Hyunmin should be able to find where this is coming from. Armageddon going in. Doesn't really affect
Hold on,
them here.
Hyunmin's all the way up in heaven. Bro's throwing out a flash. He's out of this, looking for someone. Les, can he find that timing? Because right now, Vitality crushing outside Showers.
Another TP for Hyunmin to get back into the site here, and a flash to follow up off of it. It's a very weird one now. Vitality on a bit of an island towards showers, but they know exactly where Hyunmin is. The satchel, good, but not enough. Safe dies. There's no ammo for Durga. He's got the shorty. Goes back in. Hyunmin takes him down. And Vitality, they're split up at this point. Another possible 1v1 for Hyunmin. 3 kills already for the rookie. That's 4. Hyunmin, he wants it. The crowd chants for it. And Trex swings out front sight. Bane steals away the ace. But it's the round DRX needed regardless.
That was just absurd from Hyunmin. I mean, Vitality had full control of showers. There's no way you should be able to plant the spike. But Hyunmin going all the way up into heaven with that ultimate. Getting that kill onto Les, and then whatever the hell this was, I don't even know. We missed the shots going wide at the beginning, but it's all good. Hyunmin kept it composed, kept it together, and kept DRX in this half.
So they head back to it. A breach ult, now available this round. And that same look to take showers. Trex was ready for it. Swung in off of that stun, but couldn't quite catch the timing.
You can see, though, that stun timing is nasty with the TP coming in. Back in round 2, Hyunmin found a kill with it. And it'd be hard to replicate that success, but here come DRX.
TP front sight. Safe
Hey, get out of the drone!
He's gonna die to the missiles! Oh, that's a tragedy for Safe.
But Trex in backside gets that first one. Vitality are still putting up a fight. Lamp's been a constant problem with his fight into backside. Hasn't been conclusive just yet. Hyunmin still on the prowl, still trying to get a little bit more. And now with an ultimate coming down, Bane and Hyunmin are tearing this side apart.
But it evens to a 2 versus 2. And the reposition for Trex. I don't know if Bane is ready for him to be in showers. It's perfect from Trex.
Down A.
Now another rookie with his chance for a clutch, but he's not prepared. Vitality immediately answer back.
These rounds are just getting a little bit crazy. But you can see that once the dust sort of settles, those individuals on Vitality, they see those angles they can take, whether it's Trex walking into showers, or then Les trying to go on the complete other side of the site. Getting that late pinch in, those positions are so unexpected.
Yeah, Vitality winning the round, despite Safe just getting cooked by the missiles.
Yeah.
Well in his drone.
One enemy.
Les did recover the off there, so Durka will have another go with that favored weapon of his.
It's just another round where DRX have basically nothing. Hero rifle on Hyunmin.
If they get some picks, they're one off of 2 key ultimates as well. Have a chance to snowball that.
But look at Durka under hook with the op. Actually ends up shooting the drone. So his spot's been revealed. He's got to go into the showstopper, and he's got to find it.
What's more Durka than that? You think the man's in trouble, and he just sends it at you. That's a shorty! Not a care in the world from Durka. Donates them an operator. In goes Vitality. And they'll clean up this anti-eco with an absurd quantity of confidence.
Yeah, no problem. Les gonna pick up that up, chuck it over to Durka once again. When Vitality were up against T1 on this map, you know, another Pacific team, they've just gotten luck of the draw on that, back-to-back matches. But his op was absolutely beastly. Haven't seen too much of it so far in this half. That's always something DRX, now they're gonna know, is very much on the cards, something they're gonna have to deal with.
DRX with both the Yoru ult and the orbital strike, a really nasty combo, especially if you can breach, stun, body block a player into it.
Yeah, ultimate comes in. How much is he actually gonna see here? Hyunmin just gonna see less for the time being.
There's the stun, there's the flash, less. He can't see a damn thing.
Crazy.
Executed by Hyunmin. But Trex has made it out. No one's ready for Trex on the site. He didn't do enough though. Needed more than just one. And now it's an off on the retake. That's just the clone. But he'll swing in for more as smoke pops though. Becomes all the more difficult.
All right, Durka did grab a Phantom there. Some chances to get back into this round, but DRX are all bundled up on site right now. Great angles to play off of one another. They don't leave anything to chance here.
Smoke fades. Bang, first contact. That's very good from Durka. But Hyunmin in the corner, taken down as well. That's incredible out of Durka. And the trades come in. Somehow, the IGL's in a 1v1, but Mako in the perfect position to close that round out.
DRX get a little bit going there towards the end. Not the best start for them, but look at a round like this. I mean, I think the Your experiment has clearly been paying off for them in the offseason. That was nice.
Yeah, it really has. 4 rounds for DRX. For the most part, off of the ult combos, off of new ideas being invested, but still a very long road to go for them. The clutch absolutely critical to close out for Mako. And it's halftime, but we have something very special standing by for you. 2 special guests for an interview at the half.
I'm here in the crowd right now with 2 very special guests. I have David and Linda here, 2 Vitality super fans, of course. Now, David, your brother's team is up there. How stressful is it watching, watching this live?
Oh my gosh, I'm having a heart attack right now.
Are you okay? You'll be okay?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay. Well, you gotta check up on your brother then, but I think he's doing okay. And Linda, you've been doing a lot of Valorant content recently. How's that been, like being invited to show matches, going to events like this too?
No, this has been awesome. It's been super cool. Also checking out Thailand and everything. So yeah.
And the fans love you. I mean, a while ago, you had so many fans coming up to you saying, "I love you so much."
No, it's great. We're from California, so it's really cool having an audience here too.
And of course, both of you, I'm really curious what a duo Q night is between the 2 of you guys.
It's me, her, and Baby Bay, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Baby Bay from Faye played FaZe. Yeah.
Shout out to Baby Bay, we miss you over here. And of course, I hear this is your first time in Thailand. How are you liking it so far?
I love Thai tea. So I've been drinking that every day, and mango sticky rice. So it's been really cool.
Guess what we have backstage? We have Thai tea and mango sticky rice as well.
Can I have that right now?
I will send it to you. And David, what about you? How are you liking Thailand?
I love Thailand. This is my 3rd time here, and the food is great. The people are so nice. It's perfect. Literally the perfect place to be.
We keep coming back, right? We love it here. But anyway, Vitality, they're doing pretty well right now. But I just want to let you guys give, maybe a little bit of words of encouragement for them to close out this map.
I'd say my words of encouragement are, Daniel, keep smiling, because when you're smiling on stage, they're doing well.
And you, Linda?
I'm just so excited to see Daniel play and coaching. It's a lot of hard work and dedication, and I know he cares about the players' mental and everything. So it's just really cool to see it all live.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. We'll go back to the game.
Cool to hear from some people close to Coach Faded from Vitality. It's his first year coaching a Tier 1 Valorant team. His first global event he's made it to. Before this, he was in Tier 2 NA, coaching on FaZe Clan. I talked to Baby Bay. He said he took a group of different players, made them into brothers. Trying to do that with some big personalities here on Vitality as well.
Let's see how that can come into play on this pistol. Vitality could start off great. But already I've seen Durko with double satchel and a shorty. It's U-Haul destruction coming on in off the back of the Teho utility. Tripwire not going to turn into a kill for DRX though, but they do control showers.
Les versus Mako.
Launching smoke.
And a very important part of the map to control still for DRX. Vitality not committing to the plant. They want to actually get a kill before they go for this. No one's looking triple. No one's looking flashback. He's whipped it. Still finds 2 and swings in for more. Bit of a redemption for him as Bane finds an opener as well. Kicks trading things back out. It's pandemonium. And Durka only has a shorty? How can he even get a gun out of this? They have him trapped. Locked in, and a swing coming through. The shorty's just not good enough for that.
Yeah, don't think he's gonna get it done, as a matter of fact. Madness round right there. I don't know. DRX somehow with flashback sitting here on triple. There's a smoke right there, so Vitality don't really respect the fact that someone could be hiding there. And it turns into a bit of a mess. Kicks finding 3 kills.
Oh, what a chaotic way to end that round, but DRX absolutely needed that. Now bring the gap down to 3.
Oh, big news here. So an Outlaw was bought up and tossed over. Kicks through that to Durka. And there's 4 players on light armor. Or actually, they switched up. There's only 2 players on light for DRX. That's actually a great call if Mako made that. Make sure they can't get punished by the hero buy.
Drone is down.
Brings drone, just spots the 1.
Unfortunately for Vitality, they're going into the wrong site to get value out of the Outlaw. With the Cypher here to scout. Wait!
That was the player on half armor.
It should have been the difficult site, but somehow the Cypher's down and the timing is missed to fight into short.
Still, that's not a gun that's recoverable.
But the problem is now, DRX are playing a very low info comp, so they're going to start walking down in numbers. And Freeing's going to walk straight into Drex, even getting the timing. That's now a Spectre picked up. Vitality a 5v3, and they just walked in with an Outlaw.
Mako a chance to save it. Down goes Durka, and Hyunmin a 1v1 as well. Getting overwhelmed by 2, but Hyunmin, he's good for it. Still not out of the woodwork just yet. Vitality, they've walked their way up short A.
I got the spike.
And they've recovered the Outlaw onto Kicks.
Yeah, got a flash to play with. 2 players, 1 shot right now for DRX. Really Bane to be the serious problem. And he's not quite in range to use his util just yet. DRX going to take things slowly, regroup, and play numbers in this retake.
Hyunmin will die to 1 shot of the Outlaw. But thankfully, Bane and Mako both good with full armor. Aftershock on to save. He barely gets away, but Hyunmin swings in and takes care of him. So now it's Kicks alone, and surely there's enough odds for DRX to just overwhelm this one, and yeah, they'll shut it down. Got a little dicey for a moment,
Sure.
but they win their anti-eco.
Yeah, good on DRX to sort of settle down and equalize in that round once they'd fallen down in numbers.
But you hit on something there, how low info this comp is for DRX. They have a lot of great tools for active re-clears, for retakes, but in the mid-rounds, Vitality can really work them on the rotations.
It's primarily once either Cypher is going to die or that util ends up being cleared away, right? Because Vitality find that opening pick, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we have no real anchor to rely on here. It's kind of hard to play that, because really when you look at this comp swap for DRX, you're going to be seeing a lot of these rounds where it's 4-1, where Cypher's going to be on his own, no longer on the Viper. Cypher much more self-sufficient, and DRX have the tools to fight forward with this breach pickup.
And also, they have the ults that they want to prioritize. Hyunmin, on their bonus round, will have the Yoru ult available. And he's just sending it to trap play. Durka's in the sky, and the missiles knock him straight back down.
What a combo there. Again, DRX put in the work on all these new Yoru comps they're trying to debut. They had not been playing the Breach previously. Now they've got ways to combo with the Yoru, to combo with the Teho. Even played the fast rotate if they want with that Yoru.
When you think about the history of this team, they've always loved to cook up the combos, to cook something special, and they're going for another one here. Spotting 2 players out.
It's
Hyunmin,
weird, though, only seeing the 2.
does he want to go for this one? They're kind of chasing behind him. He's got a clone to work with, but just pulls them away, and TP's out of dodge.
Yeah, so right now, Vitality need this pick to be found by Trex. Dog comes in, and that's going to cause the bailout from Freeing.
Stun available, another from the Teo, but it doesn't catch on the Trex.
All the time, though, Vitality are moving over into this A side, trying to lurk into this Cypher. First tripwire broken. DRX already have 2 players here ready to hold.
Oh, Flashback had a chance on the Kicks. He doesn't convert it. And now with the smokes up, the spike should be able to make its way down.
There's not a lot of time.
Spam, there's a gap in the smoke. He converts. Safe trying to plant the spam. Coming in, Safe sticking. He'll get it down. But Hyunmin through the smoke for 2.
And now this flank coming in from Bane, it's just a ghost. Trex isn't able to get it done. Hyunmin has been a beast for DRX today. I mean, so consistently, and it doesn't matter if it's an eco round or not. Hyunmin is always showing up.
A rookie player. Last year, he's playing Challengers Japan on 120 ping from Hawaii. DRX take a chance picking this guy up, and my God, have they been rewarded.
Yeah, if you thought he was good on 120 ping, just wait till you see him on 1. Spoiler, he's on 1 ping right now, and this is what the kid can do.
Pretty ridiculous. when the all-star players last Durka were winning trophies, he hadn't even played his first Challengers match. Truly the next generation of Valorant talent on display here from DRX.
And now coming into this round with a monstrous advantage. DRX posting up 3 over towards this B site. Vitality don't really have ults to dip into here. DRX went full heavy. Very easy to play controlled defensive side here with this Yoru comp.
It's just an execute into the B site. Durka, no chance in the air yet again.
The worm smokes on a global stage. You love to see it.
An interesting one. Bane playing inside the smokes. He's become a worm himself, and they've spotted him. He'll get out and over and dip away to safety as well. Vitality, though, still a lot of players ready. When these smokes fall, it's going to be a brawl, and it doesn't go well for Freeing. Bane trying to reply back, but overwhelming odds! They only had a half buy, and Vitality now up 4-2. But Hyunmin, the hero of last round, arrives yet again and knows exactly where Les is. They can't take the risk yet. When will he fight? Perfectly timed. Hyunmin, another opportunity, and he rises to that occasion as well. But was it enough? And the 1-on-2 is Flashback. Spotted out by the ult. A double swing from Vitality, and they win the Thrifty.
It is genuinely impressive to see Vitality, even in a Master Card Thrifty round that they're securing. The fundamentals of how they're approaching these fights, right? Their timing of going up on the top of the tube, swinging around left side, right side. That's what really won them the round, right? Because it was a little bit of a mess at the start here, but then it was all these fights they took around backside where Mako's swinging in. There's like 3 or 4 different players on his screen.
When you watch Vitality play, you're not going to see the same super impressive util ult combos that DRX goes for. But they are damn good at the fundamentals, the team fighting. It's really where they thrived in EMEA.
Now all that work that DRX put in to win that bonus round, kind of tossed away. Half makes a little bit more sense. Refight in with that stun. Hyunmin always going to be looking for that. Doesn't get tagged by the stun either. He's going to keep on fighting here.
Safe gets out, though. Still, that means DRX maintain control of Fuka.
Yeah, and you know, Vitality left the spike over towards A side this entire time. Dirk and Kicks just been hanging out together, ready to split on in, but someone's got to go get that spike. We need to get that in our hands before we actually take the site. Or maybe they don't.
Eventually. And the ult back side, flashback.
Oh, he's in front of it.
Yeah, forced into the smoke here. A very good opportunity if he can find the right timing. An ult, information for him to follow up off of. There's very good flashes. Durka can't see a thing, but the follow-up isn't there just yet. Now here comes DRX, a stun onto Kicks, but it's just too late. And Vitality winning things out by attrition. A refight into backside, an orbital strike to follow. It's lovely for Vitality.
Making quick work there. Ultimate into backside wasn't actually super effective because of how Flashback ended up playing it. But Vitality trade all their teammates out. Weren't thrown off by the Yoru ult coming into play. Dirk had a rough go of things because he's fully scouted out by that Yoru ultimate, but Kicks at his back from showers. That wasn't going to be an issue. And again, in these team fights, Vitality just seemingly always coming out on top.
Hey, we like fighting in the mud, yeah? Good job.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. They're just lathered up in it.
Safe, truly an expert in those situations.
He was born in the mud.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Safe. So the second timeout now invested for DRX here. In your bonus round, you have all the momentum in the world, get eco'd, and now it's back to square one.
Meanwhile, Faded's like, yeah, I don't need it. We're doing just fine. Although I will say, Termi, when he called the timeout in the first half, it was very clear. DRX came in with a plan of how they were going to structure their next 2, 3, 4 rounds. You know, whether it was going to be changing that opening default utility, how they were going to, you know, use that to have a fast hit, then fake it, slow it down. So I've got some faith in DRX to have a good read coming in here and not just have an ult play ready to go or something like that, but rather to understand how Vitality has been breaking them apart in these slower paced rounds and also in the post plan.
Really has come down to those final seconds, those final fights where Vitality has thrived.
And the Fundies have been strong. I also think Vitality have just gotten a lot of space walking into the Cypher side of the map. I'd like to see a DRX with a look where they maybe fight there a little bit more aggressively, or push through on the B side. That could be this round.
Freeing, is he going for this one? Stun connects on to save, but he's out of it just in time. Bane will make another attempt, and he does better to trade his teammate.
Yenman's already teleported up to A too. Him and Flashback could lock this down.
The lurk is through. But catches on the Flashback. A nade at his feet. A sky flash loves a fake. So well played from Kicks.
Still problems though with Hyunmin dropping down into sight. Shower's control isn't coming in anytime soon. Hyunmin's gonna find his mark. Still a problem over in triple, ready and waiting for Drex. Not gonna end up happening. Vitality have the sight and Durka still pushing. Durka still looking for Bane. Wants a little bit extra and he's gonna have it.
And now a 1v2 put in front of DRX's leader. Spike still not planted. Vitality an opportunity to go for the TP.
And they're still worried about a flank with that early B aggro.
Mako biding his time. Here's the plant committed. And starts to walk his way outside. Durka's going towards elbow, an isolated fight. And in hookah now, Durka waits, a wraparound, an ult in hand. Mako, does he check it in time? Spam, going in. Durka's all the way at triple, but the smoke is up and the timing, it's perfect. An incredibly well-played round for Durka.
I feel like Durka's movement in these clutch situations has just kind of been perfect, right? He's going for these long walkarounds. You think all the way back to, what was it, like round 2 or 3 in the first half where he got the kill up in hookah, went all the way back into long? I think he's got a really good mind right now for just showing up in the least expected place every single time.
That's my MVP. That's my MVP. LeBron James.
What do you think that means for his legacy?
It is very Vitality to, instead of setting up the crossfire, walk all the way through U-Haul, back triple, set up to close out the round. Tough times for DRX now, back down to an eco of their own.
Not another one. They've made it happen before. Got some ults to play with. But Vitality have done a really good job of early round scouting, always going into the weak side of the map on their execs. And again, kind of waiting for DRX to play their hand, to show them where their stack is going to be. This time, though, having bodies around the Cypher, Vitality might end up biting wrong.
Bit of damage done towards short, but Vitality not committing there.
Yeah, it looked like the original plan was going to make Presence be long and then TP. Instead, walking in, freeing, in some trouble. Missiles at the feet to try and stay alive in it, but it's not going to happen. Now here comes the split into the site.
Ain't no one to really help him as he's out wide from the missiles. Durka's rocket is good. And Hyunmin, HP just so low, will be traded out. But the TP, okay. Incredible shot from Flashback, brings this one back into even territory. And a Vandal recovered off of it. Trying to find some shots back through the spam. Mako trying to isolate a fight. But both these players on an island. The Ghost, not good enough in that position as Vitality make it to map point.
5 rounds down, DRX need to put up something now that they've actually got rifles in hands. Gonna have the ult advantage going into this next round too.
And Vitality have done such a good job of just playing these slower, simple rounds. Figuring out where the heavy side is, going for a late execute with their Teo utility, and winning out in the post-plant team fights.
I do really think the problem right now for DRX, they've just been...
This guy's a reaction machine.
I love it. He's clip farming. But again, it's these rounds where DRX are always playing 4 players on the strong side. And Vitality know they can get these walk-ups and consistently punish into the Cypher with just a little bit of utility shown towards B. It opens up these timings.
Viper's pit out of showers.
Well, that's annoying. How did DRX respond to that? We've already seen a teleport come over. High camera is broken out. Flashback isn't good for it. And now this site's just falling apart. Dirk is still in a warpath here, getting all up inside the smoke. Spotted out, ultimate to come back on in. DRX have no one to follow off of it, actually, and ultimate is gonna come down for freeing. Hyunmin blasting his way through the pit, sees two, and now the sole hope for DRX on this retake.
Hyunmin flashed up, and Kix takes care of him, but the pit is dropped in the chaos. Bane will claim one, and it evens 2 versus 2. No smokes for the Korean squad, and safe on an off angle, somehow freeing, wins it! DRX stay alive!
They threw everything into that round. Taeho, breach your ultimates. But they stay alive. These rounds are messy. There's so many things happening. When the particles on their screen alone, it's dizzying. But finally, they come up big in a team fight.
So the common thread in these chaotic rounds is freeing and Hyunmin. Those rookies have been so good for DRX.
DRX really have yet to find a solid B fight here. But finally, Vitality working into this space early on. Drone's gonna spot out freeing, he drops down, but here comes the fight into long again. Good droning from Vitality, sees both of the aggros.
Everyone's getting caught out by Util. Durka up top with a smoke to play within. But freeing, he's found a gap beneath it. The one-way for Durka works out, but the trades are excellent from DRX, and Vitality don't have a foothold in the site. Finally, they'll walk out. Bane hears everything. Waits for the fade of the smoke. But Vitality escaped towards long.
Mako doesn't have any smokes to block off long after this one goes down. So they're just walking into crosshairs. Les isn't gonna let you have a chance with that.
And another player caught out. Mako didn't have his weapon in hand. And Hyunmin on the walk. Flashes into long. Les isn't blind. And it's only one man left to stand. Bane, an isolated fight towards long, but time is ticking. He needs this last kill onto Kix, and he needs it quickly. Sticking onto the spike, trying to get halfway, but Kix puts an end to it. 13-8. Vitality strike first on Bind.
Vitality carrying that momentum through. 2-0 up against Pacific's second best, and now 1-0 up against their best. Vitality come out in a big way to kick this one off.
Hello. I'm not doing the hard thing. You're not catching me on that.
Why? Are you gonna become a TikTok name or what?
Yeah, I'm Batman.
I'm Backman. I'm Backman.
Face your death, cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet, cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocket here and stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future, but see profit here. Wait up, we gon' always win. Promise that that's not a promise, yeah, that is a threat. You know that I promise to bring the team commas. When the whole team win, that's when you flex. Win, and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again.